values, and then we give that m divided by n plus 1, that is called probability position, and we can determine it. What will be the runoff as 75%, how much will be the yield will at 90% and 95%. So in that way we can determine. You can see here 75% dependable runoff is 221, but 90% yield is less because it has surety of 90% time this yield will available. Similarly, 95 is again very less, it is only 105. So in that way we do this exercise, or we determine yield. Now the second question or second situation, where at site of interest we have very short term data of runoff, but long term precipitation are available. It means we are having runoff data for only 15 years, but 30 years rainfall is available. So what we will do, we will develop this equation between rainfall and runoff in the form of y is equal to a plus bx. So simple relationship we will develop for station, and we use this equation to extend our records. So a linear regression between rainfall and runoff will be developed, and weighted rainfall will be used by either by Thiessen or isohytal methods. Then we will develop a relation in the form of y is equal to a plus bx. Y means runoff or yield, and x is rainfall, and they should be in either in same unit, centimeter to centimeter or mcm to mcm, whatever it may be. So this equation we can use. It is simple statistical equation. B is equal to sigma xy divided by sigma x sigma y divided by n. So this can be done, and A can be determined using y bar minus bx bar. This is one example. So you can see here, this is example for month of July. So for July month, we can see here we are having 10 centimeter of rainfall, and against this we have 2.27 centimeter of runoff from a watershed. Similarly, this is for different months. You can see here. So these are the sum of this. Then we determine x square, y square, xy. So the earlier equation we require sigma xy, sigma x, sigma y, sigma x square, and sigma x of whole square. So that we determine here sigma x square, sigma y square, sigma xy, and we determine equation in this form: y is equal to a plus bx. So I am having this data for 17 years. So from 2011 onwards, so 2012, if rainfall is this much, we are having A and B values, so we can determine runoff like this. So this is called that extension of runoff. So if we are having runoff for short period, but we are having rainfall also, so we develop a simple linear relationship between rainfall or runoff, and we determine runoff. After that, similar exercise we can do with other months. So August, September, October also, because these are the primary monsoon months. Then we determine annual flow in MCM by adding all these monthly runoff and multiplied by catchment area. So we determine in the form of runoff, MCM. And again, we do that exercise we have seen in case 1. We can determine dependable runoff. So once we are having runoff, we can determine dependable runoff using this table. Okay. So next is, so this is the case that how we can determine dependable runoff. After that, we have determined these are the runoff in centimeters. So we again arrange in descending order. Then we assign probability, and then we can determine runoff. Case 3 and 4 are the similar. There we are having no runoff at the site of interest, but at nearby site we are having either short-term runoff and precipitation and long-term runoff and precipitation. In that case, what we can do, रवि जी, हाँ 10-15 मिनट से बात करूं क्या? हाँ अच्छा ठीक है, ठीक ठीक। हाँ हाँ NHP अच्छा ठीक ठीक ओके। अरे ये थोड़ी देर से करूं क्या? नीचे कहीं बात कर रहा था मैं। हाँ मैं भी फिर आपसे करता हूँ ना फोन से बात, है ना? बात है ना? हाँ sorry for disturbance. So if we are having data at interest, so we are having long-term precipitation, but no runoff data. But nearby site we are having short-term either runoff or either long-term runoff. Then what we can do? We will develop similar y is equal to a plus bx type of equation for nearby site. Here, what is difference between case 2 and case 3 and 4? That we are having data for nearby station. In case 2, we are having data for site of interest. So we develop this equation for nearby site in the form of y is equal to a plus bx, y is equal to a plus bx, using rainfall and runoff in centimeters or meters or millimeters, and using the same equation for site of interest. Here we are having no runoff. We don't have any runoff, but precipitations are there. So we are having x here. So this x we can determine, this equation we can use to determine runoff here, and then multiplying area of our catchment we can determine runoff. So this is case 3 and 4 where we develop rainfall and runoff relationship for nearby sites and apply on our site, and we convert runoff in MCM using catchment area, because what is difference in both the sites? These catchment areas are different. So when these catchment areas are different, so when we develop relationship in centimeter to centimeter, it means area effect is neglected, or we have removed the effect of area. We develop equation in the terms of centimeter to centimeter. So that that equations we have developed for nearby sites, it can be used for our site also. So this is one case. And when you do when you go for that any civil engineering department, this third situation or fourth situations you will get most of the time. You will not have data at the site of interest. So what you have to do? You have to take data of nearby sites where runoff data and precipitation is available. You have to develop different equations for different months using that rainfall and runoff in centimeters or meters. Generally centimeters we take, and with that same equation you apply with rainfall of your site, and multiplying area you can determine runoff. So this is third and fourth case. In the fifth case, what is there? You don't have precipitation of your site, you don't have precipitation of nearby sites, but you are having short-term data for your site, but nearby site is having long-term runoff. So in that case, we use Langevins log deviation method. This case is rarely occurred. In general, this type of situations very rarely occurs when runoff data is available and runoff rainfall is not available. Generally, rainfall you will get everywhere. So in what we do in that case, we call that nearby sites as index station, and we use concurrent data. It means you are having long data for site of interest, sorry, for index station, but less data for site of interest. So we take concurrent data for both of the sites, then we compute log of both these methods, then we deduct both the series with mean. We can see this in next slide. Here you can see. So here, this is the nearby site or index site whose runoff is in centimeter, and this is the project site where runoff is in centimeter, but it is only from 2005 to 2011, and from 2012 onwards data we are having only of index site station. We don't have data for our site. So we take log x in the fourth column, log y in fifth column, then we will take deviation, means 6 is equal to 4 minus 1.248 is mean. Similarly, deviation y is equal to 5 minus, means this fifth column, minus 0.783. So when deviation x, deviation y is determined, we determine x square and xy. And with the help of this equation, sigma xy divided by sigma x square, we can determine this b. And using this b, when we are having x here, x means index station values, but we don't have our project site value. So we determine log x, then log x minus mean, then y is equal to bx. This b we determine. Then y is equal to 6 plus 0.783 into 7. This values will be added with 0.783, and we take anti-log, and when we can determine runoff of site y. So this is another method that can be used. In case 6, what is there? We don't have any data of nearby site, but we don't have any runoff, but we have long-term precipitation for our site. Then what we can do? We can use some empirical equations or rainfall runoff models. With the help of these models or empirical equations, we can determine runoff. Most of the time, these situations also occur in the field. So we use some empirical formula you might have learned in your courses, that Stench table. In Stench table, if these are the rainfall and how much area is either it is dry, damp or bad, and how much area either it is good catchment or bad catchment, then we can determine that yield in mm. So in that way, either you can use that Stench table, you can use these formulas. Number of empirical formulas are there: English formula, Khosla formula, UP Irrigation Research Institute formula, Heer, Ahuja and Majumdar relationships, and runoff coefficient. So these methods can be used to determine how much runoff can be available. And that in the 7th case, where nothing is available, no is earlier case precipitation was available, but here is nothing is available. Then we use regional flood frequency analysis and model. So when we go for model, generally use unit hydrograph. So what is unit hydrograph? So unit hydrograph is the hydrograph of direct surface runoff that is resulting from 1 centimeter of rainfall axis that occurred in a specified duration of time, that and falls uniformly at uniform rates. So it is a hydrograph. Hydrograph means it is a curve between time versus runoff, but there is simple thing that rainfall is unit. If 1 centimeter rainfall is occurred all over the ground, how much runoff will come on the on your outlet? that is called unit hydrograph, and it is very important aspects in hydrological studies, because we don't whenever we have some limited data, then we use this type of equation. These are the assumptions that rainfall should occur uniformly. It is that comes during that time, and the ordinates are proportional to that total amount of direct surface. So these are some criteria that rainfall axis is 1 centimeter. They are time invariable, but it means at any time if that rainfall comes, you will get this type of runoff. Principle of linearity. They follow principle of linearity also. So if rainfall is 2 centimeter, your hydrograph will be just doubled. So similar, there are some limitations also that we cannot be applied for snow basins or very large basins as well as very small basins. Then another technique is also there. It is very simple technique where daily rainfall data can be used to determine runoff, and that is called SCS method. It is soil conservation service method. It is very simple model that can be used in hydrology, and it is based on very simple conceptual model. And at last we get equation like this: Q is equal to P minus 0.2s whole square divided by P minus 0.8s. It means Q is runoff in mm, P is rainfall. So we know that rainfall is most probably available in our catchment. So what we determine, we have to determine only S, and S can be determined with the help of this equation: 2500 divided by Cn minus 254. So Cn is curve number, and this curve number is actually representative of when some rainfall is occurred, how much water will leave. So it depends on soil type and land use. This is one table you can see here, where for different land use and for different soil type, you are having Cn. So if you are having a watershed or catchment which is having only two type of land use, one is fallow or some crop, and soil is only A type. So on the basis of area, how much area with this Cn and how much area is with Cn, you can determine composite curve number, means a single value for your watershed. Once that Cn is determined, you can determine S, and S is determined. In that equations, just you daily put P value and you can determine Q value. So these simple models can also be used to determine runoff. Once we determine daily runoff, we will convert it into annual yield. Then we will do that exercise as I have told in case first. So dependable runoff or 75% or 90% or 95% can be determined. These are the different soils. These soils are grouped here in 4 classes. Here, this is one example I have shown here, how we determine Cn. So if a watershed or catchment is here, it is having all these land uses. These are the practices and these are the hydrological conditions. Then these type of soils are there. So with that table, we can determine this is the Cn number for this part, this is the Cn number for this part, this is the Cn number for this part, this is the Cn number for this part. Similarly, for all, if we consider that area are similar, then we can determine this may be the CCM, composite curve number for whole basin. So single value we can determine. Then we use this CN values and determine S, and using this P, we can determine Q. So if P is rainfall is 20 mm, we will not get any runoff. If rainfall is 30 mm, we will get only 0.9 mm rainfall. So generally when you go in the field, you will have rainfall data, but you will not have any runoff data. So this type of model you can use and you can determine. Then peak discharge you can determine using that rational formula. आप लोगों ने शायद वाटर रिसोर्स जब पढ़ रहे होंगे तो आपने पढ़ा होगा कि QP is equal to CIA by 360. तो ये जनरली पीक रन ऑफ आपको चाहिए पड़ेगा कहाँ पे, when you design the weir of any dam, then you require this formula. So in this formula you have to determine C as per the areas. Then with that area you can determine time of concentration. Time of concentration can be determined with the help of this equation. And this equation, these are the time of concentration length, what we can determine from here. And I can be determined with this formula, KT raised to the power x TC plus A raised to the power n. So when C has been determined with this table, I has to be determined with this, and A is the catchment area and square kilometer. So you can determine peak rainfall. So if a watershed is there, so C can be determined like this. These are the area, it is area in the land use. This is area, this is soil, so this is C value. And we can determine C here for the whole catchment. Then with this C we have determined 0.45. Then we can determine S with this. Then time of concentration TC is 28 minutes using this equation. Then I can be determined with this equation. So I has come out as 15.33, and then we can determine QP like this. So these type of models can be used to determine that water yield as well as peak runoff. So this is all from my side. So now I request Dr. Bikram, if any questions are there. So I am ready to answer that.
Thank you so much, sir. Anyone questions? If you can unmute yourself and ask questions from the sir.
I'm sorry I could not invite you for a cup of tea. I am having, but you are not having any. So I think no question is there in this. So can we close this session or?
One question from my side that the scope for water resources in modeling point of view for the students are basically from 3rd and 4th year. How they can make their careers in the field of water resources through modeling.
Okay. So just I would like to tell all these students that modeling is nowadays very bright future. If you know little bit about rainfall runoff modeling and advanced techniques, using remote sensing and GIS. So whenever you go for some interviews or some for some job, then it will be very useful, because nowadays all these governments or water resource departments, they are focusing on people who is having knowledge of modeling, especially in the field of water resource department. So whenever we teach people from water resource engineers, newly we teach water resource engineers who joined WRD in MP, Rajasthan. So they actually, the departments now wants that that people who are coming to join this department, they should know modeling. So if you go for some any interview, if you got selected, then definitely it will provide you an ace. And if you tell them that yes, I know something about rainfall runoff modeling, water availability studies, then definitely it will create a good impression. And I think you can be selected if you know something about modeling, remote sensing, GIS. So these are some very bright field for water resource engineers. And because in BE course there is some less actually focus on this modeling work, but in water resource department it is very useful. And I suggest all the students who are attending this, please do some review of work, or some see what are the models are available for rainfall runoff modeling or hydrodynamic modeling. They are